Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my top 10 favorite films of this year, 2017 video. And of course, it's New Year's Eve, and happy New Year's Eve to all of you out there. Hopefully, you all are having a good New Year's Eve. If you're going out partying later, if you're going out partying, be safe. So happy New Year's Eve to all of you out there. And this video, of course, like I said, it's my top 10 favorite films of this year, 2017. So this is my top 10 list. You don't have to agree with you all don't have to agree with the films that I put on my list. This is my list. If you want to make your own list and do a video of your own list of your favorite films from this year, go right ahead. And I rarely went to the theaters at all this year. Majority of the films I watched on a stream online, but there were some films I went to go check out in the theater this year. But hopefully in the new year I can get a chance to go to the theaters more, to check out some of the films, the anticipated films that I want to see next year. And I will do a video of that, showing my top 10 most anticipated films for next year, for 2018. So that will be coming up soon. But let's get on to my top 10 list of favorite films of this year. So coming in at number 10, it is Split, which was written, produced, and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, Ding Dong, M. Night Shyamalan, and it starred James McAvoy in the lead role, and he plays a character named Kevin, who has DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, and we find out that he has 23 personalities in him, and he ends up getting into this car with 3 girls inside because one of the girls' father gets out, leaves the 3 of them in the car. James McAvoy comes in. He sprays the girls, which knocks them out, knocks them unconscious, and he ends up kidnapping them and putting them in this room. And the craziness ensues with James McAvoy's character, which his character, which was really crazy, really creepy in a way. And we find out about his character, like we see him going to therapy, seeing his therapist. And at the end of the film, we find out that it's it's somehow set in the world, in the Unbreakable world, Unbreakable, the film with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, because we get to see Bruce Willis in the end, which was really awesome. So it's kind of a standalone sequel to Unbreakable, which is kind of cool. But Split is a really enjoyable film. I really enjoyed it. James McAvoy did a good job in the role of Kevin, the character that he played, and it's the first likable film from M. Night Shyamalan in a very long time. I know a lot of people said The Visit was good also, which was the previous film that he directed. Heard a lot of people like The Visit, which I didn't see. But Split, good film, good movie. So that's number 10 on my list. Number 9 is Wonder Woman, which stars, of course, Gal Gadot as Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. You got Chris Pine, who plays Steve Trevor, who is the love interest for Diana. And I really enjoyed them in their roles. Really enjoyed the love interest between the both of them, and it had good action, performances from everybody else. I really enjoyed. I really liked the final battle between Wonder Woman and Ares. Was pretty good. But Wonder Woman is just a very enjoyable film. After it's the second live action film that the character has been in, because she appeared in BVS, Batman v Superman, and then it was her own film, and then she appeared in the Justice League. So, but very enjoyable film Wonder Woman is. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Very enjoyable film. So that's number 8. And sorry, that's number 9. I'm sorry. Number 8 is A Cure for Wellness, which is a film that stars Dane DeHaan, Jason Isaacs, and Mia Goth. And this is just a very crazy, intense, creepy film where Dane DeHaan's character has to go to this wellness center to retrieve the company that he works with, the company's CEO, and bring him back there. And we find out there's this weirdness that's going on in this wellness center, and we see as the film progresses with Dane DeHaan's character, this wellness center is like not what he expected, and there's a lot of crazy, weird stuff going on. But it is a very, very good movie, and it's really crazy, very creepy. The movie was very well shot, in my opinion. Just a lot of great, creepy scenes also in the film. And it's just very, very enjoyable. The film was directed by Gore Verbinski, who directed the Pirates of the Caribbean films, who's best well known for directing the Pirates of the Caribbean films, which are not my cup of tea. My favorite Gore Verbinski film is always going to be Mouse Hunt, with Nathan Lane and Lee Evans. That's just a childhood classic comedy. It's a very hilarious film. So that's my favorite Gore Verbinski film that he directed. And this is probably number 2 on my list of the second favorite film that I like that he directed. So, but yeah, so that's number 8, A Cure for Wellness. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. Very good movie. Number 7 is SpiderMan Homecoming. Really like Tom Holland in the role as Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I think he makes a very good Peter Parker. I really enjoyed, his friend. His friend was really funny. Zendaya was decent also in the film. Michael Keaton playing the Vulture. He did a really good job playing the villain. This is the very first film I've seen Michael Keaton play a villain. Play a villain role. So, and he did a really good job. Really, like I said, really enjoyed his performance as the Vulture. Liked seeing Tony Stark in it, Robert Downey Jr. So it was pretty good. Pretty good Spider-Man film, in this new reboot of films. And really like to see where they go in the next film that they do. Which the sequel is gonna be released in 2019. So really, like I said, really would like to see where they go with taking this new reboot of Spider-Man films. So, and really liked the Spider-Man suit also. Spider-Man suit was really good looking. So, but that's Spider-Man Homecoming. So that's number 7. Number 6 is Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which a lot of Star Wars fans are 50-50 on it. I did a review on it, which was my previous video, so if you haven't seen my review of that, go check it out. But really enjoyed the film. I had little problems with the film here and there, but those problems didn't make me hate the film. So, but like I said in my review, if you've seen it, I enjoyed the film from a movie lover standpoint and from a science fiction movie lover standpoint. So, but yeah, so that's number 6, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Really enjoyed it. Liked the characters, the new characters, and it was like passing the torch down to new characters. So that's number 6, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Sorry about that. But now, getting into my top 5. Coming in at number 5, it is Baby Driver, which is another film really enjoyed, which followed this guy named Baby, who was played by Ansel Elgort. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's his character is a getaway driver who, has to perform these heists with these robbers. He actually works for Kevin Spacey's character, and he really wants to get out of this this business and get away from being a getaway driver. And he likes this waitress who is played by I think Lily James. Yeah, her character's name is Deborah, played by Lily James. But really enjoyed it. Very fast-paced film. Jamie Foxx did a good job playing one of the gang members who works for Kevin Spacey's character. John Hamm, another guy who did a really good job playing his character, who's also with Kevin Spacey's character in the film. But really enjoyable film, and what was really cool was whenever Ansel Elgort as his character Baby was driving, he listens to the music playing on his iPod. So whenever they're in a heist and trying to get away, you hear the song that he's listening to from the iPod, which was awesome. Yeah, John Bernthal in there for a little bit, but it was cool to see him in it. So, but that's number 5, Baby Driver. Number 4 is Thor Ragnarok, the third Thor movie. I thought this was better than Thor: The Dark World. You got a different story, different direction where they took the character. This one was more of a comedy, but it still had the action in it, and the action was really was good also. Just everybody did a good job in the film. From Chris Hemsworth to Tom Hiddleston. We actually had Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk in it, which it was cool seeing him there because we haven't seen the Hulk since Age of Ultron. So it's really cool to see Hulk there, and where he went after Age of Ultron. So, but that's number 4, Thor Ragnarok. Very fun film. Very funny film. And it's, like I said, a lot better than Thor: The Dark World. So that's number 4. Number 3 is Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which is not as good as the first film, but I enjoyed it. The action scenes in this film made up for it. Everybody in it I liked, from Taron Egerton, who played Eggsy. You had Mark Strong. Julianne Moore as the villain was okay, but didn't love her as much as Samuel Jackson when he played the villain in the first film. I thought Samuel Jackson in the first film as the villain was very enjoyable villain, and I just thought Julianne Moore paled in comparison as the villain for this film, as when you saw Samuel Jackson in the first film, which he was more of a badass villain. But still, Kingsman: The Golden Circle I still enjoyed from the action scenes. It still had the crazy action scenes that the first film had, and it was enjoyable. Aside, from Julianne Moore as the villain, and had a lot of cameo appearances. We had Halle Berry, Elton John, Jeff Bridges was in it, Channing Tatum, and it was just a enjoyable sequel. I really would like to see a third film. Hopefully they do a third film, because sometimes we've seen it before. Third films can end up being either decent or it can end up being really shitty. So, but I really like to see a third Kingsman movie. So that's number 3. Number 2 is Kong Skull Island. Very enjoyable film. It's a sort of reboot. It's a reboot of the King Kong franchise. Really had a good cast with Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson. Just an all-out, very fun, enjoyable Kong film. I really liked how Kong looked in the film. The whole the whole thing where they're on the where they're on the island through the whole film. Very well shot in some scenes, and it's just an all-out, fun, enjoyable film. Enjoyable Kong film. So that's number 2. And now for my number 1 favorite film of this year. And no, it's not a comic book film. It's actually a film that came out back in February of this year, and it starred Daniel Kaluuya, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Allison Williams, Bradley Whitford. Film was written and directed by Jordan Peele, and that is Get Out. And it was just a really, really good film that mixed both horror and comedy, together. And it was just like a horror comedy. And Jordan Peele did a absolutely good job with the film, directing the film and also writing the film. It's basically about Daniel Kaluuya plays this guy named Chris. He's a black man, and he's dating this white girl who's played by Allison Williams. And so they both go and take a trip, and Allison Williams wants to introduce Daniel Kaluuya's character to her parents. And so they go to her parents' house, and Daniel Kaluuya's character, Chris, finds out, there's something strange and weird with Allison Williams' family. And as the film progresses, you get to see how crazy this family is, and, all the, it's kind of it's very psychological. It's a, psychological horror film, but mixed with comedy. And it was just a very well done film. Felt like like you were watching a Twilight Zone episode, which a lot of people have said, and I do agree with them. It kind of felt like I was watching just a long Twilight Zone episode. And it was just a really well done film, very well shot. Everybody did a good job. I really enjoyed the lead character, Daniel Kaluuya as Chris, and Allison Williams also did a really good job. And Allison Williams, was the daughter to Brian Williams, who was the former news anchor for the NBC Nightly News. So, and she was also in that Peter Pan, the musical that they did back a few years ago, back in 2014. But all in all, Get Out, very enjoyable film. It's number one favorite film of mine from this year. If you haven't seen Get Out, I would highly recommend it. It is a very good movie. Definitely worth watching. So to go back and tell you all my top 10 favorite films of this year. Number 10 is Split. Number 9, Wonder Woman. Number 8, A Cure for Wellness. Number 7, SpiderMan Homecoming. Number 6, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Number 5, Baby Driver. Number 4, Thor Ragnarok. Number 3, Kingsman The Golden Circle. Number 2, Kong Skull Island. And number 1, Get Out. So that's my top 10 favorite films of this year. And pretty much that's it for this video. Definitely let me know in the comments below what your top 10 favorite films of this year were, or do a response, video response, or just make your own list. So, but yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. I say have a wonderful New Year's Eve out there, and until next video, which will be tomorrow night. It will be my Raw review tomorrow night. So the first Raw of the new year tomorrow. So there will be, of course, my review of it tomorrow night. So until that video, I'll see you all back here tomorrow night in the new year, of course. So until that video tomorrow, I'll see you then. Bye.